Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome back to Pyre. Maybe? Uh-oh. There you are, Pyre. Oh, this game. I just heard the menu music immediately. It's a left click to move, right click to Orica, space to pass, W to dump, shift, salute. Okay, I don't remember how to play this game. Ah, yes, we're in the downside. The people get ejected from the Commonwealth to go hang out here in the downside, and the only way to escape is to go through a series of rites, assuming that you don't die. Rites. First exile. I don't remember. Sniffing at something? Okay. I guess we need to wait. We need to wait for the stars to align again. Everyone, the amenities are modest here at Moonlight Alcove, but I suggest that you get comfortable. We may be here for some time. As for myself, I have business to attend to. Please leave the wagon in my care for now. I shall be ready by when you need it next. From the mountaintop, you can see all across the downside. Its impossible expanse staring back at you. The thought occurs to you that you may never see another land besides it. And so you and your companions wait upon the mountaintop in quiet solitude, anticipating when the cycle of rites begins to turn again. Then you shall have another opportunity to free one of your own. You may earn back their freedom, one by one. Many moons pass. And one evening, may I have a moment, reader? The lone minstrel finds you poring over the Book of Rites, as has been your learning through your stay at this abode. Or your leaning. Begging your pardon, but there is something you may wish to see. Please follow me. Follow him into the cold night. Look forth, reader, sir. The stars shine like you have never seen. Once more the path towards salvation is revealed. But now, something is different. Ooh, I'm getting shivers. Stars shine once more! Here we go! I'm excited. Oh, wait. 3 stars? Hold on a second. Each prior time you searched the stars, they showed you a single path, but now several rites avail themselves to you at once. Henceforth, you may choose from several different rites. Oh, no. Okay. Interactive challenge withdrawn. Oh, okay. The witch. The doggos. Or the Pyre hearts. The worm peoples. We'll go fight the worm people. Stars urge that we go to the Spring of Ylmir, a long way off. Wilfred, sir, how are we to reach the Spring of Ylmir in due course of time? You know full well, Tariq. Preparations are complete. think you see the lone minstrel smile, ever faintly, but cannot be sure. Please ask the others to gather their belongings, rest, and then assemble at the wagon there at dawn. We shall be parting at that time. As you will, sir. Cycle begins anew. As the years advanced, we'll find there ought to be fewer rites this time, until once more we traverse the Scribe's Gate. Exactly how many, it is difficult to say, but our next chance at liberty ought to present itself much sooner than before, so let's be ready for it. Now then, see you in the morning, reader. Your companions have not traveled far from Moonlight Alcove. Word of the news soon spreads throughout the group. Oh, so there's less preparation time. Next morning, Volfred calls everyone together before the Black Wagon. This old wagon is more than it appears. With Bertrude's aid, it escorted you across the sea. To me, now, it shall escort us anywhere the stars require. Come and see. Volfred beckons you to join him in the wagon. Bit-wise... Okay, something has changed about the wagon's interior. We'll look before to be old cracks and signs of age now expose various intricate components once hidden from view. You are the Nightwings. You should travel in their customary way. He turns to you, indicating the levers and devices marked with symbols from the book. Now, reader, whenever you're ready, you may take us up. I'll show you how. And everyone else, hang on to something. Take off. Oh, are we gonna fly? Oh. Oh my gosh, we're flying. After having soared into the sky, the Black Wagon remains aloft somehow. Hey, now we're talking. Never thought I'd soar like this again. Impossible. The Nightwings sail the skies again, wheresoever the stars may call for them. There's one catch. The downside provides full locales suitable for landing. We should be able to find at least a couple landing places near to where we're going. We'll then make way by land or sea toward our destination. Now, without further ado, let us proceed. Black Wagon can fly. Seek landing near the spring of Ylmer. Okay. Oh, this is the location of the next ride. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna skip a lot of places, I guess. Hold shift to boost. Something about the strange island you see below draws your attention. Best to avert your gaze from the Isle of Kalmir. Even the scribes themselves thought to avoid the place. Let us fly on. Forbidden island nestled in the deathless tempest. It has significance. Kalmir. Alright, what's this? You soar above the waters of Worm Gulf, you notice Sir Gilman sidle up to you very slowly. We are very, 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 very high above the waters. If this knight is not mistaken, this knight's brother lurked beneath the surface there, in numbers untold. Fortunately, if we were to come crashing to the surface now, then this knight, why, he would receive a watery burial in the custom of his kind. Okay. Oh, they fly too. Oh, okay, so everyone has flying ships. Oh, what's this? The spring of Ylmer has always flown forth from a crushed carapace about Biolanthius, the legend of whose demise is a rather sordid tale. Perhaps you've already read of it in the book. The Hive Titan vanquished by the scribe Ylmer at the Many-Mane. Not all believe the book exists, of course. Nor the greater titans, nor the rites. The colossal monsters that once roamed the downside. I've encountered exiles believing that this titan perished quite by accident, rather than by a cunning trap laid for it by Ylmer Many-Mane. They took the titan for a common beast. Perhaps the stars shine down upon the out-of-the-way locales such as this one to ensure that they alone shall witness the proceedings. go to Fall Flat. So it's gonna be much faster to get 2 rites. And much faster, it sounds like there's gonna be less rites. You touch down on the heart of Yomer Valley, where you first face the Fate and the Dissidents. Triumvirate of anarchists who conduct rites for sheer thrill, led by the cur Barker Ashpaws. You briefly wonder where they might be now and how they fare. Join your companions for routine inspection of the wagon following its flight. Faye confirms the wagon wheels withstood the shifting temperature and still appear to be in reasonable shape. Sir Gimlin managed to calm some of the drive-ins prone to dizziness or frenzy at high altitudes. Other than that, everything checks out, and the rest of the crew got through the flight without complaint. You now have a little time before having to set forth by land. Someone wants to talk? Oh, Sir Gimlin wants to talk. Sir Gimlin is shivering there after the Black Wagon's maiden voyage through the skies. Master Reader, this knight is very, very slightly out of sorts is all. He merely appears terrified, but he assures that his seeing cowardice is but an optical illusion in this case. Amitha overhears and joins you. Blind stuff for everyone, Sir Knight. This knight heartily concurs, though how anyone at all can stand it, he has yet to understand. Well, let's see, what's it like to swim the waters of the Sea Dominion? Ah, those glorious murky waters engulfed in hideous warfare, to be sure, but otherwise a joy to cut across, to feel the coolness of the waves beneath one's gill slits and the like. Well, this knight is now accustomed to his life above the surface. Flying's just the same, Sir Knight. It resists those of us not born to it. I, in turn, have wondered what your seas are like, but the thought of swimming fills me with disgust. Though I haven't had to swim, you now have to fly. That's very brave of you. You handled it better than some of the harp fledglings I've met in my day. You'll get used to it. She departs, but you sense Sir Gimlin is feeling better after the exchange. +1 hope for the next rite. Wisps inside provides scarce bit of light when it's needed, all for a low monthly fee. Book of Rites. Apparently there's new pages. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of new pages. Spend soul at the slug market. Interact to reveal the next page. Oh, I forget, how do I read this? Okay. Forsaken lands, in the words of Molten Millith, the Wild Witch. Years upon long years we spent distilling life essence from many things, which all once writhed under the auspices of their mortality, which we ourselves cut short. In this we have no regrets, for we learned much, and so we think did they. We earned the title Witch, and we were forced to flee into the downside. Here we encountered Soli and Myrrh, and soon we gained an understanding of each other. He bade us circumnavigate these lands and catalog our findings. Felt a strong desire to expose the secrets of this land. He wished to yield benefit to those who followed in our wake. Indulge us both, then. Thought I heard something in my house. Going to different regions to feel. Celestial Landmark. In the word of Luce Glorian, 100 Minds, the Scholar. You feel kinship with the stars, you owe your everything to them, perhaps, one day, even your freedom. Faced the stars across the river of my genealogy until they led me here. I demanded they explain to me the paradox of knowledge, for how is it that something can be shared but still contained within ourselves in its entirety? The stars did not respond, but set me on a quest. I sought the 9 landmarks, which they revealed to me, so that someday I would reveal their mysteries to you. These landmarks, emissaries of the stars, are 9 lenses through which we see the land, and see ourselves in a new light. Cool. Yomer Valley, the words of Molten Millith, the Wild Witch. The downside prairie first appears serene. It is not. The soil there accommodates only the region's brutish native vines and overbrush, and most likely food sources prove poisonous. Thus we journeyed further north. The climate there grew fouler to my senses, though the courage Yomer found it amenable. The sprawling valley, pocked with a long evaporated lakes, gives evidence to the monstrosities which roam this land. We found the region's western edge to be more pleasant, on the whole. There, we found sources of fresh water, whereas over to the east, we found the edge of the land's most hideous decay. Tell me about scholar. Okay, so each chapter is written by a different scholar. The words of loose glory in 100 Minds, the scholar. Much can be said about the Sisters of Arc, whom we banished to the great beyond for deeds irredeemable. Divisive to say. Hey, Tyler. Suffice it that the details of their banishment are written in this book. The sisters and the book became inseparable, not unlike the stars, their light, and the infinite darkness that engulfs them. The stars communicate to us, and you, in turn. The words within this book are but an edifice, a simple surface. Look past the text, to the hidden meaning, to the hidden power. Stars above, as they are not mere lights, these are not mere words. You chance upon the Sisters of Arc within their prison here, give them our thanks. Oh gosh, more? So much reading! Mount Aludiel, in the words of Molten the Lith, the Wild Witch. Gaining the summit of the sacred Mount Aludiel involved no small amount of sacrifice and sorcery in varying proportion. The mountain's energies were palpable, the sensation that we felt indescribable. The lands we stood upon were closer to the stars than to the world we know. It was upon this highest point in all the downside that we first made efforts to concoct this tome, which you now read. It was there that we were stricken with the vision of the cycle of the rites, and felt together, for the first, a sense of freedom unlike any we experienced before. But this is a subject which our comrades shall illuminate in greater detail. Okay. Forsaken lands. Oh no. Omer Valley, Mount Aladale. I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Tyler? Okay, nothing new there. The 9 Triumvirates. At first I found it much too difficult to read, much less write, even to grasp the quirl. But the Horned One Mer implored me. He said this is the greatest gift that he could give me in return. Oh, fun. That stuff sounds like a lot of work. In return for what, I asked. In return for his life, he said. And I did not save your life, I said. You did, he said. We fight about this still. Mer is stubborn more than I. Now herein, by his leave, I chronicle the 9 Triumvirates. For I am of this land, unlike the rest who wish to leave. We know not everyone who could leave who wanted. Seldom would an opportunity arise. Thus did we organize those striving for the chance into 9 sets of 3. On the Commonwealth, we can learn more about the Commonwealth. We, the 8, assembled here together in the downside, and we gave our freedom so that you may yet have yours. It is an exchange we have not lightly made. It is my charge to ensure that you, should you regain your freedom, first off recognize its qualities and choose it wisely. You do not need a pair of wings in order to be free. My own wings, I once thought that they could take me anywhere, and then they took me here, where I am bound. It is your charge to be free, and not to make the same mistakes. Spring from here, and learn from what we did, and build a new and great society, a free society, which means spread wide for everyone. Collect more liberation rights to reveal more pages, prevail to loot pages, visit landmarks, return to different regions, spend soul at the slug market, and continue your journey. The great rites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the 8 sages. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of reading. What's this? Singing sands. The so-called singing is the sound of countless screeching wheel mites. Oh, okay. There's a bunch of screaming bugs in that. Let's explore the flat. Something about the dusty wastes of Fall Flat gives Sir Gilman a strong intuition to explore the area. Together you set out to take a look. Fall Flat, the south route along Yomer Valley, is riddled with barren rock and bone. Even the wild curves of the valley avoid the oppressive heat of this place. Screaming bugs where? They're in the sands! The sinking sands. Calm down, Tyler. Perhaps this knight could escort you, Master Reader? There seems to be nothing in particular in this vicinity, but then Sir Gilman raises his voice. Halt! This knight's keen eye has located something. The object in question is lodged deep in the ground, and bears the mark of the Rites. You sense you may be able to secure its contents, but the mystic words will not be easy to undo. What shall you do with the locked container? You know what, let's try to open it. You focus all your mental faculties on the mystic words sealing the box's contents. Soon you are left exhausted, but the box is lit and fastens. Inside is a talisman, placed there perhaps by one of your predecessors in the Rites from ages past. Covered a star splinter, rank 10. When preparing to fling the orb, the bearer's charge-up speed increases. Cool. Onwards! At dawn, everyone seems to have recovered from the rigors of your maiden voyage across the sky. It's time to return to the Spring of Yomer and confront the Pyre hearts there once again. Oh, we got 2 pages. Hey guys, come on in. Say now, what happened to the smiley headwind guy? Did he really get out of here like I've been hearing, or what? Oh yeah, he's got... That's a legendary. I seem to remember for them to ascend, they have to get up to like 3? Oh yeah, Gilman's a long way from being enlightened enough. Trying to remember, because at some point we have to abandon 2 people basically. I'm trying to figure out who we're gonna... I think we might abandon him. You're going to need to pick the ones who are better off grouping up. Yeah, that too. Like, I don't want to be left. I think the last person I'm going to have ascend is Tizo, because Tizo is one of my strongest people. Relearn masteries. Deal bonus damage. Once per rite, if the bearer's rite is extinguished, instead is restored. Oh. I'm very tempted to buy this, but we're gonna buy this.
Oh, my
Oh nice, that's one of them scribes have fingers there, huh? One dab of those little guys and you'll be like, woo, know what I mean? Pretty popular. I got my connections, and they got their connections, and they got their connections, and they got plenty more of those. They're just coming to see me and Dad here later on. We ought to have one back in stock. Yeah, we'll buy some more Stardust. You guys take care, okay? And thanks for doing business. No, I'm not ready to start the rite yet. Oh. Sir Gilman is fuming in anger over something, so much so that you're hesitant to approach him, but you approach him anyway. Exile is too light a sentence for this night. He notices you and seizes up, and begins acting rather nonchalant, as though his outburst did not just transpire. Oh, greetings to you, noble master reader. What brings you to this night this afternoon? Ooh. Gilman is attempting to make small talk. Ask him if everything's alright, yeah. Maintain a gentle tone with him and ask whether there's something he might wish to discuss. Sir Gilman perhaps could benefit from talking through his woes. He stands there for a time, silent and dejected, but then... Master Reader, this knight cannot escape the horrors of his past. Seems that you would hear them. Then you have this knight's apologies ahead of time for burdening you with his troubles. Having said that, here, then, are the troubles you requested. You are, of course, familiar with the siege of the Spiral Sanctum. For this night, the memory of this is like a wound that will not close. This knight stood there on the front lines, whilst the hide-wing remnants suspended upon us. So furious was their assault that our chain of command was ruptured instantly. We have the Sea Dominion. We require orders to perform our duty. Without such orders, why, we surely made a very easy target there, that eve. One by one, then two by two, they picked us off, becoming bolder, some of them shrieking with laughter all the while. This night, he saw his comrades cast aside like sea flies. How this knight survived, he does not know for certain, even now. Perhaps it was that he attempted to pursue and to detain his own knight commander, whom you met when you first met this knight. That cursed Sir Deluge, if not for his craven cowardice, the Spiral Sanctum, it might have held at least a while longer. But instead, we were routed, rendered spineless both in form and deed. Sir Deluge was first to turn and flee as our chain of command crumbled. And, as for this knight, he failed to catch his knight commander, who must have looked a coward too. Thus came time for penance, and this night, why, he insisted on the only course of action reasonable. He insisted on the sentence to the downside. And as you can plainly see, his wish was then fulfilled. How absurd that he should re-encounter his old knight commander here soon after. Thus did his knight become obliged once more to Sir Deluge. We took to the waters of the Sea of Solace, where soon we met the Pyre hearts, a triumvirate exclusive to our kind. Plain to see that they lacked wherewithal, and Sir Deluge, they thought he could provide it, the leadership they sought, but he was too much of a coward to decline. As for this knight, being of the Sea Dominion, he had little choice but to comply, or so at first he thought. When this night, when he encountered you in the Nightwings, something awakened within him. With so little honor left to lose, and so much left to gain, it became eminently clear that this knight stood a better chance within your ranks than those of Sir Deluge. And there is little left to say. This knight cannot escape his past, and yet he chooses to believe that he was spared that day, not merely by coincidence. Perhaps Under King Horus yet has his plans in store, in which this knight has to play a part. Under King Horus is one of the scribes, okay. This night he clings, however vainly, at hope. Slithers away, his head bowed low. I think it's best to leave him be for now. You sense he feels relieved at having shared all this. Roster bio updated. Springs of Yomarat, from the Scholar. Ofttimes I think the carapace of the Hive Titan Bealanthius shall be an everlasting blemish on an almost splendid bit of land, but Yomir, in his brashness, felled the monster with a certain flare. Then the moon shone through the ridges of the massive carapace and shined upon the pooling ichor, turning it into the freshest nectar ever to be tasted. The spring shall flow eternally, and those who walk within it shall experience the resplendent glory of the land. The stars began to fall there in the spring with regularity, and we know now how soon again that they shall do so, and we wish for you to see it for yourself. I thought I unlocked another one. How do I pull up character bios? Hello, my lovely reader. What might I do for you? Should we do a practice rite? Yeah, let's do a practice rite because I haven't played in a while. Oh, pardon me. Sandra appears and looks upon your fellow exiles. Welcome to the practice rites. You're fortunate your readers summoned you, as you could use a little discipline. Now come forth and let us see how capable you are. I PDF'd 50 some odd page. Oh, like scan them in? As in the practice rites, no enlightenment is awarded. You may train here as much as you wish, or press escape to return to the wagon. Okay. Frontline fire, unless you fared much better. Off of wed training for safekeeping. Oh. If you're ready, then Nightwings grasp the orb and we shall train you. Oh, that's right. His thing is that he explodes. Okay. Floating stone, interesting. Okay. Everything is set for the rite to commence, and all is quiet amid barren wastes of the Spring of Yolnir. All there's left to do is wait for nightfall to set it. Observe Sir Gilman sliding back and forth, back and forth. He sensed something that's weighing on his mind. This night is not a night at all. Knight betrayed his former commander, abandoned his brethren of the Sea Dominion. But what is knighthood even? What is knighthood if it even means following such a craven as Sir Deluge? Cease this nonsense, Gilman. Focus on the right, focus on the right, focus on the right. He notices you finally. Oh, Master Reader, this knight did not see you there just now. Such was his preoccupation with the task at hand. Know that this knight stands prepared. He has no misgivings whatsoever when it comes to battling his ex-triumph. Please consider letting this knight participate, for he has honor to restore. Then a glimmering within the sky draws your and his attention. Stars have aligned.
Reader, ever persevering, aren't we? Well then, rejoice, because the cycle of the rites begins anew. Perhaps you'll liberate another soon enough. Your chosen adversaries here shall be the Pyre Hearts. Reduce their flame to ash, just as you did when last you met. Now, who exactly shall oppose them?
Gilman, still don't abandon your new friends, like all your other duties responsibilities. So Deluge wrestles with his mask for a time. This knight is most surprised that you have the courage to even show yourself. You speak of courage, Sir Deluge, but this knight is a little else to say to the likes of you. That figures, Gilman. You are no knight at all. You're a teensy minnow swimming in a sea of minnows many times your size, and with much more honor, too. And something never comes Sir Gilman. But just as soon it fades, Sir Gilman slinks away. Disgraceful, you Nightwings. You're stupid and have to be taken that one in. You're stupid to have taken that one in. And you are no good at the rites. And another thing, we do not fear you. Okay. This knight's companions have grown much stronger since we dumped that worthless Sir Gilman. You sense Sir Deluge speaks the truth. The pirates are more capable than before. Each time you face a triumph, they gain talismans and masteries. Oh.
The rite shall begin forthwith.
Okay. Sir Deluge Slash banishes every demonic area. Oh. Is there anyone I want to save that's below 3? I can't tell if she has any bonus. Doesn't. Okay. Have the worm fight? Oh, but the worm isn't a person I want to save. Unwilling. Oh, so she won't fight this time. Oh gosh, he's so low. He doesn't even have a single enlightenment or mastery. That's gonna be rough. What does she do? Charge up time for the vast aura is greatly reduced. Bonus damage. Oh, he just destroys people, basically. Okay, we'll bring Faye. I think Faye is just kind of all around okay.
Faye!
Shiru-sama?
Very well.
Pirates are so cruel to our friend Gilman. I don't think that should be allowed. The Nightwings should show this night that you defend the honor of that miserable minnow who you harbor. On guard. Something blah blah blah. Here we go.
Commence. Beware the adversary's aura, or be banished. Already does your adversary's flame begin to flicker. Oh, boo.
Oh. Uh-oh.
None left unscathed. The orb quenches the flame.
Okay, they don't really do a lot of damage. Okay.
Gilman plunges into the fire.
Oh, his damage is so low!
Quite an exchange. Jodariel plunged into their pyre.
Though their most inglorious defeat is imminent, this knight can feel it in his bone. In his bone?!
Be gone, you lot. Your
Ah!
are weak.
They're so fast!
Oh. Twas dangerously close. Fear not the purifying flame.
Okay.
Once more like that, and we are finished here. Shame.
These guys are really fast. I hate how it always gives me control to the one guy. Forces me to use what's-her-name. Ah!
Is done.
Whew!
The Nightwings prevail. Right conducted with aplomb.
Whew!
The ceremony is complete.
Geeky curse you, Gilman! You were a fool to abandon us, and now you only twist the dagger in our backs. You do not seem to understand, Sir Deluge. This knight is no longer beholden to the likes of you. This knight is bound only by the path toward enlightenment. Your words ring false. You are unfit to lead. Just shut up. You know exactly what you are, Gilman. You call this knight a craven, yet her courage is a mere facade. Everybody knows this knight shall see to it. Gimlet does not respond, although you sense the words of Sir Deluge got to him.
Bask now in the wisdom of the scribes. The moon-touched girl has greater understanding than it seems.
The 8 scribes, they so inspire me, and now I feel that I have grown somewhere closer to them. Maybe? Choose a mastery. Ooh, that looks amazing. You have to get all the way up to 4 to use that one.
Desperate for honor, this Sir Gilman may yet learn something.
Huzzah! The great wisdom clouds over this knight's entire consciousness. Use a mastery. Carefree and unpredictable nature. Traditional undersea warfare. If Sir Gilman and his allies are banished, he shall instantly return. For 10 seconds after banishing an adversary, Sir Gilman deals an additional 10 damage to the adversary's pyre. Ooh, that looks good.
The might of the sea sojourner.
She only needs 50 for the next rank. So she's the only one that's below
until the stars
2.
align.
Return to the wagon after you and your fellow exiles secure victory over the Pyre Hearts and find Volfred waiting for you there. That fixed the worm's level issue? Yeah, it did. Well done back there, my boy. You're serving your companions well. Now then, I have something that I wish to share with you, if you've got a moment. We've discussed the plan, of which we're all a part. I have means of measuring our progress toward the goal of it. We're at 27% successful. Actually sparking a revolution in the Commonwealth. I'd like for you to have a look at it. First, let's determine where the rites may take us next. Fourth, I expect you shall see several shining stars, where you once saw but one. Several shining stars, a trick of the eye, or the will of the scribes, who can say? I too once gained this newfound vision many years ago, following my first liberation rite. We believed only we of the Nightwings have this gift. I realized that, in choosing whom the Nightwings confront in each rite, we in turn influence the triumvirate we face when the time comes for someone to be set free. The object I invite you to use contains further detail. Henceforth, you may use Volfred's planner to see your current progress. Whoever triumvirate carries the most favor shall confront the Nightwings at a chance for freedom. Okay. Using Volfred's planner, you may assess your progress toward your ultimate goal, as well as check your current standings of your adversaries. Volfred shall keep this information up to date for the remainder of your quest. You may look over it now or any time in the Black Wagon or while searching the stars. We've done 9 rites. We've liberated 1 person. We have a 27% chance of succeeding the plan. Favor. Oh, they have no favor. Filers of rights forsake faith scribes for a profane monster. Oh, we don't know how many rights until we have to go. Last time it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we did, yeah, 7 rights, and the 8th right was against the Tempers. So I think we want to try to fight the Withdrawn. Wait, hold on, where are the Pyre Hearts? Oh, they're equal. Okay. Unchanged standing. I think if we make them lose, their standing may go down. I don't know why I don't want to fight them. Okay, Harpies. The Dissidents. The Accusers. Well, I haven't fought any of these people. I know the Curs are going to be pretty rough. The Harpies would be a pain in the butt too, so I guess why don't we fight the Accusers? We're just going to go like from one side of the map to the other. Your next adversaries are to be the Accusers, the one led by one called Lendl, whom I believe you met many years ago. Uses a tale I hope shall be forgotten. Then tells you what he knows of your next adversary. Lendl the Liar, the first adversary you confronted in the Rites, not long after you took your first steps on the path to freedom. I don't remember this guy at all. Former constable of the Commonwealth, he gained a reputation for a strict and brutal manner. By any means, he always caught the crook. Once he arrested a civilian who hated him on suspicion of theft of Commonwealth artifacts that had gone missing. Lendl discovered the artifacts himself in the civilian's home. The suspect soon is exiled. Still, he denied the charges, even as they cast him downriver. The case was investigated further, though too late. Suspicions turned to Lendl. It turned out he had planted the damning evidence himself, so he was exiled in turn. In the downside, he soon became acquainted with the Rites, having heard of all of this from several people in high places. He heard it himself as the de facto leader of the accusers. They bent to his aggressive nature and prevailed many times under his watch. Yet each time his chance at liberty arose, the Nightwings either defeated him or simply did not show. At any rate, Lendl shall be looking forward to our arrival, I expect. We may resume our journey come daybreak, but in the meantime, I would advise taking what rest you can. Bid the lone minstrel good evening at dawn. You shall take flight again. First, there's someone to talk to. Sir Gilman, I'm so tired of talking to you. Oh, Volfred's planner. Okay. Sir Gilman is in a contemplative mood. He's been rather quiet, at least more than usual, ever since his confrontation with Sir Deluge. He knows he's there and slides forth in a solemn manner. This night, he knows what he shall do. Now, when all of this is over, Master Reader, we Worm Knights, we are all born and raised to prove ourselves superior to all other villains of our kind, to lead our lives, however short, with glory. From this moment, we shove past our wormling brethren in their egg sacks. To the very end, we are conditioned to excel, to prevail at all costs. This relentless pursuit of glory, of fame, of self-worth, it leads most of this knight's kind only to an early doom. Or in the case of Sir Deluge, it leads to a life of falsehood. A life of low deceit, abusing one's fellow Worm Knights, shirking one's responsibilities. Living in constant fear, this knight cannot abide his former commander, yet pities him. You're so obsessed with him, why don't you just marry him? There must be more to honor than to lead a life engulfed in endless conflict. Then he looks at you intently. This knight shall ever seek that honor out, when all of this is ended, Master Reader. Thus he vows to you, and he is ever grateful that your guidance lead him to this new awakening. But, until such time, this knight is duty-bound unto the Nightwings. This, the fulfillment of our plan, and our pursuit of freedom, is to be his final quest. For what awaits him afterward is no mere quest. The honor that this knight has sought cannot fully be achieved through knighthood, can it? It requires something more. I trust you understand. He slithers off, his head held high, though not merely in pride. Something has changed in him. He gained a permanent +2 presence. Okay. Pyre hearts. Pyre hearts all follow in the path forged by the Underking wars, whose many mighty deeds exceed the smallest stature that somehow contained him. His is the most spirited triumph, with their courage unfaltering, their hearts full. They live always with vigor, and perhaps they die with it as well. They are the Underking's own kind, as at home above the sea as in it, never ceasing, ever longing, as I do, for something more. The Underking chose wisely for these qualities. It teaches that life devoid of passion is a life devoid of life itself. Burning passion, it's the fuel that drives the pirates, and in turn, us all. Why is this sparkling? Okay, that's how I interact with the roster, okay. Onwards!
Yeah, what's that?
Over here, Sir Deluge in a full-on panic as his fellow Worm Knights attempt to calm him down.
What do you mean it was the Nightwings? We are not to face them and are coming right again, are we?
At the point he realized your wagon is aloft beside his own.
You Nightwings, this night shall not forgive you of this transgression. If we prevail against whatever our seeds are doomed to face us next, then we shall come for you. Ugh, why must this night be forced to fly so far above the land and sea?
I didn't really mean to knock it to them, but here we are.
Something of value, a faster rite.
Ooh, vocations. Vocations might be a good idea. Your wagon touches down in Black Basin where you first met Volfred, and Pamitha as well. Briefly wonder what might have happened had your paths not crossed. You considered what to do with the remains of the afternoon. Beyonder Crystal seeks Fae? Scribe trial. You shall be the lucky one this time. Hey! Sandra to administer. I must admit, I do sense something from that one. I once had a wild heart myself, quite like her own. We shall see if there's more to her than that. Let us bring her forth. Soon Faye arrives in heat of the summons. The scribes. I think that if I listen carefully, that I can hear them calling out for me. I would have just whacked into them again? Oh, so if I win this, if I can win the, this trial, I get a unique item, I think. The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, girl. The place in where you reside at present has but a single right, which is you answer to me here. Wow, okay, I will. Such naive enthusiasm. Now be silent. It is plain to me that you have much to learn yet about the rites, but you have learned something, and I would see you prove it without the benefit of anyone save for your reader. Okay, are you out there to help me with this, mister? Oh. Okay. Ah, dang it. Why? Ah, heck. They move so much. How is a human expected to react that fast? But I mean, Faye can blast them fast enough that it wasn't too hard. Okay, how did I do? How did I do? Must admit you did better than I expected, girl. You have passed this trial of yours. Some congratulations are in order to you, and also to your lovely reader. Now farewell. You could get a unique item. Oh, that's right, you're not allowed to read in the Commonwealth. Did I imagine all of that, mister? Because I hope I didn't. Wow, what is that you have there? Palmir's anklet. Okay, how do I... After Faye casts her aura, it can bounce off of objects and solid surfaces? Oh, that sounds pretty fancy. Can I upgrade this? Oh, so if he manages to beat someone, we get money. Yeah, imps suck. Black Basin. The continent we called Black Basin shall one day tear itself apart, upon arriving blackened molten crags, tolerable only by the harp Trista, who pressed onward toward a suffocating wood. Land fell to us somehow primordial. Deep in its roots and noxious crevices lay innumerable clues as to its ancient history. We had little time to excavate, for our supplies by then were thin. Further, we were lost. Our best attempts at circumnavigation all had failed. It was Luce Glorian who reached out to us at last unto the stars, for they revealed the way. Then we at last could see the sacred Mount Alodiel there in the distance. Foreboding feeling stuck with you since your arrival in the thick underbrush of Cindermoon. Some of it spreads to others in the group.
I don't think I feel good about this place, at least today I don't.
This night's skin crawls with much anxiety. Decide to focus on pursuing your vocations until the Black Wagon is ready to move on. Mentor... Let's do the private study. Let's get presents. Tenacity. Everyone has +2 presents now. It's Sir Gilman. Oh my gosh. So tired of talking to him. Sir Gilman is training intently when you approach. Master Reader, this knight is so engulfed in memories of the Sea Dominion that he failed to detect your stealthy advance on his position. Splendidly done. This knight would have been vanquished by you easily. This knight is fortunate to have you as an ally rather than a mortal foe. His kind routinely clambers from the depths of the Sea Dominion to seek greater glory, and perhaps a slightly longer life expectancy within your commonwealth. Such an honor it would be to be assigned to the rank of knight and be conscripted onto the front lines of the commonwealth against their vicious winged enemies. In the Sea Dominion, it was our ultimate goal to fight our way to the surface, past our brethren, past the razor reefs, the stringle kelp, the snagglefins that prey upon our kind. The Goodman continues listing undersea dangers and terrors for some time. Past the blood sniffers and the electric scallops and the rogueworms of the frigid current, the paralyzing nets of the far fishers, even past the scalding waters of the glowing trench. Finally, he trails off. Yet, despite the myriad challenges of living in the Sea Dominion, it is each would-be worm knight's duty to abandon that place at his or her soonest convenience. How humorous it was to learn that life within your commonwealth was had quite a bit in common with our existence under sea. It was not all pomp and glory as this story is told. Perhaps it is our lot, as worm knights, to bring strife with us wherever we should go, for even here it seems it is our kind pitted against both against our brethren and all others. He remained silent for a while, but then, ah well, it is fortunate that this knight found within this place so fine a company as yours. It is most different change of pace to strive toward a common purpose, rather than strive constantly to outperform each other's towards one's own self-gain. Although, to the extent we are competing still, this knight shall ever strive to take the lead. Make no mistake about that, Master Reader. This knight was born to be the best, just like all the billions like him. Now he is off to steal himself. Your pardon, Master Reader. Scoots off somewhere to continue with his self-made training regimen. Gain +1 quickness for the next rite. Okay. Why is it always him? I'm so tired of talking to him. Here in the leaves and branches of Black Basin, you encounter a messenger imp come to deliver news and rumors from the other side. News this time pertains to Hedwyn, who you liberated in the fall of Solium. You learned Hedwyn returned safely to the Commonwealth, where he was clothed and welcomed, his past transgressions all forgiven. He was to be groomed for a leadership position of his choice, whether on the council or the blood border, each equally lucrative and secretive as well. Hence why our imp is so good? Yeah. However, he refused, and before the stunned council members could do anything about it, he left them. He since made contact with Fulford's agents and is working together with them, thus the ranks of revolution grow stronger. Per the messenger imp custom, the last part of the message was transcribed from Hedwyn, word for word says, "Keep going, I'll see you here." You thank the messenger imp for relaying this information, soon your companions are all abuzz about it.
Glorious example Headwind sets for all of us. I always thought Headwind was looking for someone out there back home. Do you think he found her? Wonder if he'll ever find the one he fell for.
He did it.
Yeah, that's how it's done, Headwind. Right behind you, chum. Yeehaw! Oh. Tizo is happy to hear Headwind is well back in the Commonwealth. News of Headwind's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Plus one hope for the next rite. Good luck, Headwind. Page is revealed. Scribe's deeds. Wish to be remembered not for boastfulness, thus I refrain from detailing our exploits across the land, save to say they were numerous. I know that only through our combined strength of arms and wit did we withstand the savage land, such were the monstrous dangers that it posed. I came to see all the terrors which I heard at bedside in my youth were based entirely in fact, so great they were they blotted out the sky. Such was the evil that we vanquished, that the remnants of it yet shine under the stars, and in the end, it was the stars which guided us toward our truest calling. Glade of Lu. Never have I witnessed an affront to nature, mine and everyone's, quite like the poisoned woods of the limbless Azurzek, the root titan, in his suffocating influence. I shall leave it to the boastful Underking to tell you more of Azurzek's vanquishing, whilst I might tell you something of the glade that he protected, which became my own. For my own genealogy now occupies the soil there, and strives forevermore to prevent Azurzek from taking root again. The brambles of the glade are constantly encroaching on themselves, and then falling once again to dust. This miraculous cycle, reflected in the starlight piercing through the canopy, needs to be witnessed whenever the stars invite an audience. Okay guys, you know what I was just thinking? Maybe I should have a sale or something here sometime, but then again my prices are low as they can go, so I don't think I can. Just can't do it, guys. Ooh, a +4? Can't afford it, though. Tell all your friends about us, because I already told mine. Here among the razor brambles of the Glade of Lu, you await the signal of the stars. There's no sign yet of your expected adversaries, the accusers. Then the little imp Tizo flutters up to you. Tizo cautions you that he has some history with your next adversary, Lendel. Tizo seems to be indicated that Lendel has a personal vendetta against him. But before we can explain anything further, the stars begin to call to you. Here we go.
The stars align, you exiles of the Night Wings. You are returned once more unto the Glade of Lu. Your adversaries in the coming rite shall be the accusers. Snuff out their pious flame and show your worth. Now, prepare yourselves.
Your companions are assembled and ready for the rite to commence. However, there is still no sign of your adversaries, the accusers. The little Tizo screeches something, cautioning you all to stay alert. But then, someone leaps forth from the shadows. He grabs at his mask. Aha! Caught out, you miserable beast. I knew it. After all this time, I knew that you were still among their ranks. Tizo is angry to have stumbled into an apparent trap laid for him by Lendel. Silence, fiend. You robbed me of my freedom, my dignity. Your evil shall be ended, here and now, and you, Nightwings, shall not deny me thus again. Come then, my accusers. We shall face against none other than spawn of the accursed imp, Haub the Swallow. Let us show him now that he is a disgrace. Haub the Swallow. Oh, it's one of the scribes.
Tizo whistles something angry back at him. Whatever transpired between him and Lindell in the past, Lindell evidently has not let it go.
Who shall strive for freedom?
Anyone unwilling? No? I really want to bring her in. Ooh, so... Oh. So they deal bonus damage while their health is more than ours. Crime, corruption, motivation, pride. He was exiled. 6. Do they even look different? No, they all kind of look the same. Yeah, I definitely need to bring in her. She needs some mastery. They can do a lot of banishing. I might bring in Faye.
Faye.
You know what? We're gonna bring in Tizo. We have to bring in Tizo versus him.
It is done.
Tizo hoped never to have to see Lindell again, but is prepared to face him. Nightwings, the wicked fiend you serve is an affront. He denied my rightful freedom in my moment of triumph. I shall never forgive him, or any of you.
Now begin. The Nightwings thus assert themselves.
Last, come accusers, we cannot let them set us back again. Oh.
As for Faye. The two triumvirates are neck and neck. Verily. This is the path to glory. Begone! With grace.
Okay.
Lindell snuffed out some of your flame.
Oh, I right click his attack, that's right.
There. Her wings have served her true.
Oops.
Stand not in glory's path.
Oh, this is bad.
Lindell.
Oh, that should have... It should have got him.
There. Sublime. The rite is nearly ended. Oh. And
Gotcha!
done.
Woo!
The Nightwings prevail.
Wow, that team was extremely aggressive.
Superior to their adversaries. Let's end this night's proceedings.
Tizo is very pleased that you prevailed, but wishes to make a quick exit at this time. Blast! Where did he go? Where did he go? That infernal imp! It is a monster in disguise, a fiend, to come forth to torment me until the day I die. Lendl storms off in a fit of anger. Tizo reappears once the ghost is clear and expresses his gratitude again. But Lendl said before, if Tizo truly is a descendant of Haup the Swallow, then he has quite the legacy to live up to.
There is much to learn from this experience. The exiled Pamitha perhaps can learn the errors of her kind.
Well, Tamitha, soon I'll be catching up with you at this, whether you like it, whether or not you like it. Choose a mastery. You either go aggressive or quick. Moves faster while flying. After banishing, she moves faster. She banished while Wing's Fury effect is active, returns twice as quickly. Do I want the all-around boost, or just a quickness boost?
The holy power of the eldest matriarch. Until the next rite.
Whew, okay. This game kind of wears me out compared to the good life. Having overcome the accusers with aplomb, you find yourself back in the WoW, recovering from the night's ordeal with your companions. Everyone seems rather exhausted. You feel it yourself. Girlhood pulls you aside to discuss some of the particulars of the Rites outcome. You find yourself having difficult following. You feel weary from all the recent travels. Anyway, take care of yourself, my boy. I think just about every one of us could use some rest right now. Although the stars seem to have other plans, shall we? Follow him outside. Perhaps the night air shall do you some good, and everyone is likely wondering where the stars shall take you next. Yet, the stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. Gaze into the darkness of the night. Haub, the midnight star. Gol, the south star. Melith, the bog star. Let's open the planner up. Okay, there's no change for that particular battle. Oh, the probability for success went up? Okay. You could either fight Chastity, the Essence, or the Withdrawn. Yeah, I want to go fight the Withdrawn, maybe lower their, Withdrawn and Witch Umilds have designs upon the rites that have nothing to do with being free again. What they seek, no one in good conscience could abide. Then reveals what he has learned of her and her designs. Witch Umbild, one of the bog dwellers and head of the Withdrawn, triumphant, more interested in the legends of Islach, the Astroborn, than in the rites. Her kind is known to be reclusive in the Commonwealth, and yet she was brazen in her disdain for common values. She practiced the unspeakable. Somehow one day her research into flammable reagents grew into obsession with Islach, despite a widely held belief that he is dead or never did exist. But Emild held that Islach is merely dormant and shall someday be reborn with newfound hunger, which could only be sated by devouring the world. Then at last Islach could return to his glorious home, and Utmild could go with him. When Commonwealth officials showed up to take Utmild in for spreading unrest, she was all too eager to comply. After all, ascendance to the downside meant being much closer to Islach's resting place, where she believed she had much work to do, where the Withdrawn stood ready to assist. speaks in seeming riddles, yet the threat of her intentions I think cannot be dismissed. Let us be on our guard, and therefore let us rest now while we can. Bid roll for the restful night, in kind. It is too late to take flight, so you expect to press onward come daylight. Oh, it's Tizo. Tizo has seemed somewhat less cheerful since his run-in with Lendl and the accusers. He approaches you, wanting for you to hear him out. Tizo seems happy about something Lendl said to him. Tizo understands full well while Lendl is angry with him. While Tizo does not like Lendl as a person, he recognizes nonetheless that he denied his freedom. It was a liberation rite. He did what he felt necessary. He wanted to help his friend go free. Nonetheless, he still feels a certain guilt and regrets that the rites forces exiles into such situation. He falls silent for a while. Whether the 8 scribes ever intended for imps such as he to participate in the rites firsthand is difficult to know for certain. Then, Tizo is grateful to you for listening. He knows the scribes created the rites with good intentions. He promises to keep doing his best to live up to the legacy of the scribes. He bounds up to the rafters with some of the other drive-imps. Regardless of whether he truly is a descendant of Haub the Swallow, surely the scribes would have been proud of him. The Accusers. The Accusers formed under Golothanian. He's a big man. He values justice, loyalty, and steadfastness. Golothanian, he says that the Accusers take their name from one of his most accomplished legions from his former military days. All among them, in fact, served the Master General at one time. They represent the stoutest-hearted people of the Empire who held true to Myr and to Golothanian to the end. The golden colors of their raiments are reminiscent of their old shining armor, is his claim. Ever shall they seek out those with the great truest spirits and the strongest sense of purpose to replenish their ranks. Didn't we get... Okay. Maybe we have to beat them to get their page. Exhibits flagrant disregard for natural law, thus providing light entertainment. Onwards! Oh, there's the Pyre hearts again. Oh, no, not you again. Have you any idea how afraid we are after last time? Just leave this wretched knight in peace. He wants nothing more to do with you, so just go away. We just keep harassing him every time we see him. Is that something? Point of interest? Yonder lies the Ridge of Gold, somewhat less imposing when viewed from this vantage point. Do you not agree, reader? The myths of the downside hold that there is no mere ridge of stone, but the remains of Lord Gandroth, once slain by Golothanian himself. The Emperor. The Serpent Titan. Though perhaps such tales are of little import now, when you stand to confront Drawn there in just a short while. You fly aloft over an area of the downside prairie where first your path diverged. You see Jodariel peering down at the lands below. You took us through the hollow route that first time, if memory serves, reader. Taking sides with Greentail rather than with me. Took me a considerate length of time after that point to come to the conclusion you were not a complete fool. Hey, watch it there, Jody. My chum here is a real discerning judge of character and has a good direction sense for that matter. We'd probably all be stuck in a bog still had he listened to you back then. Oh, indeed. They both seem to be in good spirits, reminiscing about old times. They both gain +1 hope for the next rite. Make successful landing in Downside Prairie, and near the southern edge of the downside, memories of having first met Hedwyn, Jodariel, and Ruki come flooding back. You now should have some time in the vicinity before continuing onward toward the Ridge of Gold by land. They're talking? Okay. Together with Pymitha, you venture forth into the rolling hills of Blooming Pool to ensure their path is clear and check for anything of value. I don't think I'll ever get too used to all this traveling by land. Since Pymitha's spirits lighten to some extent, the survey is brief and uneventful, leaving you time enough to pursue your vocations on your return. Pymitha has +1 hope. This book you feel especially drawn. Prove the reader's influence. Let's get, yeah, the +1 hope. Extract a deeper meaning from the words and teachings. Okay. Hey Pymitha, what's up? Oh, what's this? Downside Clinger. Yields fruit from time to time, though only if one says the magic word. Find Pymitha by herself, though her expression has grown darker than her custom. Leave me be, would you, reader darling? Trying to get some good and proper moping done here, and you're distracting me. Leave me be, reader. Just leave me be, reader. Just leave me be. You don't want to know what's lurking in my heart or mind. What you'll find there isn't pretty. It's something about her thought process that's different to you now. You know that, with her conditioning, she can resist your scrutiny, but now her thoughts are laid bare to you. Pymitha is alone with her thoughts. See what she's thinking. Pymitha seems to be inviting you into her thoughts. You remain there, in that lonesome space, with her. What is going on to take? Oh, what is it going to take, I wonder, Pymitha? Shall I just go ahead and kill them all? That would be proof enough, perhaps, about my loyalties to you and our sisters. Perhaps I ought to start with this one right in front of me. The baton between you severs as Pymitha opens her eyes and stares at you. Then she smiles sweetly and gives a gentle laugh. You see, reader darling, my thoughts are rather cumbersome at times. But do not fear, I have them very well under control. Still, my thoughts being the loathsome thing they are, I nonetheless cannot fully suppress them. She exiles and looks askance. You know by now why I am in this mess with all of you. You could say I lack to meet this sense of commitment, her zeal. It lives only to see your nation overthrown, or something worse, if she could have her way. Centuries of conflict can be quite emboldened that way, especially when one's sister's leading cause of death and Commonwealth's forged steel. Especially when one's sister's leading cause of death is Commonwealth forged steel. Wielded with the utmost mercy, of course. Well, I had little patience for the senselessness of it all myself. I became a bit of a pariah, I suppose. I knew Pymitha was going to get herself and others killed someday, so when she was to fly out on this one big mission of hers, I had other arrangements made. But after she was caught, and your people did not exactly uphold their end of the bargain, I knew there were such risks, of course, and yet a chance is still a chance. Pymitha was clipped and cast down. A mercy, they called it. I did not see it that way. When my growing protests of her treatment, I was soon enough to follow. All silent for a while. I haven't yet decided if I entirely regret my actions, but I do seek Pymitha's forgiveness, and wish that she could see my thoughts for what they are, as it seems you can. Then she might realize our nation's people have much more in common than she knows. Sometimes I wonder which of them's the stupider. She brushes past you and out of the wagon for now. Onwards! We'll do the reading after the rite. Oh boy, let's go fight the witches. Great. En route to the Ridge of Gold, the wagon comes to a sudden halt. That does it, I am leaving. House of Dodorio's outburst soon becomes apparent. Well, reader darling, at least some of us know how to take a joke, wouldn't you say? Look, she was reminiscing once again about her soldier days, and I just happened to point out I may have suggested the fiery destruction of the Spiral Sanctum happened on her former unit's watch. I mean, didn't it? Not that she would have made much of a difference had she been there herself. She ought to thank the saint that she was spared by her exile here. I thought she held no love for your Commonwealth. She'll never understand what it is your people ever saw in that dreadful place, but I guess I hit a sore spot. Should probably apologize. She swoops off. There's no sign of either one of them. We organize a small search. It appears fruitless, but then, Dariel returns, alone, as if nothing happened. She is back to her calm self. Let us continue. I regret the interruption. Prometheus seems to come back as well. Oh, don't you worry, darling. I have definitely patched things up between us, honest. At least, I think perhaps I didn't make things worse. Returns to her business in the wagon. You make ready to resume your travels, but make a note to follow up with them. I don't really have any new money, so... Pamitha again. Find Pamitha in the midst of a heated conversation. All I'm saying is, we're limiting not only our own chances individually, but all your friends' chances as well. Dariel seems to be considering whatever it is that Pamitha proposed. Reader, the harp here is suggesting that perhaps it would be best if I were to form an alliance with the ones whom I fought for the better part of my life. Just with me, Jodariel, I cannot vouch for anybody else. How utterly absurd. If we were in the Commonwealth, I would not have stayed my hand against her. That I can say for certain. However, as Hedwyn would say, what happened back there, perhaps none of that matters anymore. What matters more is what we do from here. That is to say, I'm willing to give it a shot. You mean you would be willing to conduct the rites with me? Yes. Excellent. I knew that you would come around. That should never come around, but I ought to give her the benefit of the doubt here. I'm grateful for your open-mindedness. No need to let old enmities between our ancestors ruin things between us, and the others in our little party, for that matter. After all, do not push it with me, Harp. We shall see if the reader here is thus inclined to pair us in the coming rites. I'm willing to defer to him. Anyway, you see, I think I managed to make amends here. Doubtless we'll get on swimmingly in no time. Pamitha and Jodariel are now willing. Oh, that's why they were unwilling. Okay. They hated each other, apparently, and I didn't even realize it. What is sparkling? Yeah, I don't really have any money stuff. Guess I can talk to him. Hey guys, look, I got something here I think that maybe you would like. Shows you several bottles of multicolored liquids of some sort. Sun serum, star serum, moon serum. Yeah, they taste pretty good, I guess. Besides, they can give you just the little lift you need, you know what I mean? Get thirsty for them, don't even worry, I can get more soon. Oh, they're like temp boosts. Cheapskates. Sorry, I have no money. I've already given you so much money. Though the now familiar surroundings of the Ridge of Gold made preparations faster than before, the stars are already aflame by the time you and the others are gathered. At last. Well, Rusky, I have every faith in your ability in this. Sure, whatever you say there, chum. Now let's watch the fireworks up there. I always like this part. Wish them all good fortune in turn. Little else is said, and together you watch celestial harmony in calm and silence, and await the withdrawn. Something else catches your notice in the sky. This time, strange new stars shimmering about the ones you recognize. The greater titans have returned. Some of them, and merely in spirit, not in form, but those dark stars are a portentous sign. Though they may light your way, beware the path that they illuminate, reader. Henceforth, you may invite the influence of the Titan stars. Use the Titan stars for greater challenge. No, thank you.
Behold, the Titan stars.
Your adversaries will be more cunning and quicker to react, but I rank up faster. We take some damage at the beginning. Your adversaries have +8 hope. Ooh. Heck it. I'm not gonna evoke the one that makes them go faster. They already move way too fast for me to react.
The Titan stars. Burning remnants of monstrosities felled by the scribes themselves. Dare you to stand against them in their fury? Dark is the knowledge that you seek there, reader. Best focus on your adversaries, keen as they are to confront you once again. Put out their fire first, and show them the glory of the Nightwings. Now then, make ready for the rite!
Previous time besmirched our flames he did. A mockery this time for all ye slack. No matter the result, no matter the cost. The withdrawn. Let us show them what the Nightwings can do.
Now we shall get started.
Crime was paganism, reason madness. So they both will do extra damage. Oh, this is nasty.
Go on, Joe Dariel.
Don't really want to have two low-level people in a really hard fight. I'll bring Ruki. Oh, Ruki's almost Enlightenment 4. He's gonna hit Lightning 4 if we win this one.
The choice is cast.
We got this, people. Hear us, Seaslack, bring us thy terrible power.
A stroke of luck is all. Glory to the Nightwings first of all.
Ah, dang it didn't let me swap to Ruki. I hate the controls in this game sometimes.
Stop these people. Farewell for now, witch.
What's going on? Oh.
Vampires.
Glory dive!
The Nightwings now are closer to achieving victory. Wherever did the Nightwings go?
What?
Their flame has died a little. Good.
Glory dive! Even now, in the ashes of our pyre mingle with his lifeblood. Prevail or no, you shall not interfere with his return.
And it is done.
Yeah!
The Nightwings once again prevail. It was the will of the 8 scribes which kept their flame alive. The rite is done.
His Locksaber's defeat, thine, ours, he cares not, he shall see.
The rites do tend to teach something of trust.
Utter nonsense, all of this, that we have come this far, fortune alone cannot be the cause. Oh. Dodora can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them. On landing from her jump, Dodora briefly stuns nearby adversaries, making them drop the orb.
The rite awoke great understanding within Ruki.
You know, with all this right business, there's been this one real fancy move that I've been mulling for a while, and I think I just finally got how I could pull it off. After plunging into the pyre, Ruki soon returns rather than remaining banished. Oh yeah!
A flash of inspiration for next time.
Enough to get her up to 3.
Wings could speed us on toward greater understanding.
All in all, having to unlearn everything I've learned is going to be somewhat faster than expected. Well, the Titan certainly gave me plus 15.
Until the next.
So, how was that for you, Jody darling? I suppose the outcome was acceptable. I'll take that as a compliment. And reader, thank you for your guidance, as ever. The Deathless Templess is a storm raging for all eternity in the middle of the downside, thought to be impassable. Back at the wagon after defeating the Withdrawn in a solid performance, you're about to join the others and discuss the outcome when Volford finds you. Good work back there, my boy, though I'm afraid I must pull you away from any revelry, for there's something you should see. Please join me outside. Look forth, the golden star reveals itself to us once more. Indeed, somewhere deep in the infinite dark, a single star shines brighter than the rest. Path to freedom reveals itself again. Oh, is it time to do an ascension rite already? That was fast. Who are we gonna fight there? We're gonna fight Essence. Oh, Tempers is not doing great. The rites are calling you again to the fall of Solium, where one among you may go free, should you prefer. It is as we discussed, the cycle of the rites is beginning to turn more quickly. Perhaps the scribes themselves have taken notice. Fortunately, having more frequent opportunities to free ourselves is not unwelcome to our plan. I suppose it's good for everyone, including the Essence, who will oppose us next. Getting to Mount Alodilio ought to be a little easier than before, at least. We should be able to make landing near some of the old monuments to the scribes. Let's set forth at dawn. Soon everyone is off to rest, as best as they are able, knowing that another chance at liberty for one of them shall soon present itself. Oh, who do we need to talk to? Oh, it's Ruki! I thought Ruki was trying to get your attention, but soon realized his attention was fixated on somebody else. I assist you with something there, Mr. Greentail. Ruki has not struck you as the sort to ever be at loss for words, and yet... I was just trying to maybe... Mimethra gives a laugh, not in an unkind way. At ease, Ruki darling. You should know I have no immediate plans to snatch you up and eat you for a snack, if that was your concern. No, it's just, what is it then, Look, I got this really stupid question here, been bugging me is all. It's just, us curs, we don't have many run-ins with you folk, and so... What is your really stupid question, Ruki darling? Okay, here goes. How come you always wear that hat? Mimethra remained silent for a time. Then, this helm was given to me by my blood sister on the night of my first kill. Slowly she reaches for the helm. Oh. What?
Her hair looks really weird. Rookie Greentail, this helm, it means nothing to me now. I want you to keep it. What? Then Pamitha begins to laugh again. Come on, Rookie darling. You got to stop being so serious around me all the time. I don't bite. Besides, we seem to make a decent enough team out there, I think. You're pretty quick. Rookie laughs rather sheepishly. Alright, you got me pretty good there, sister. So, that stuff you said about the hat, then. Total nonsense, mostly. I just happen to like it. So, you're saying I can't keep it? If I get out of here before you, Mr. Greentail, it's all yours. It's a deal. He skitters off before Pamitha can respond. She simply shrugs at you and smiles. The Freedom Pact. Did I read this? We rid the land of an impending doom, but faced another of its kind, for we knew that we were trapped. Yet for each danger we faced, for every failed ambush by Ark, we met with gentle souls and kindred spirits in the downside, who deserve more than to fade from memory within this land. It was then the stars themselves showed us the way, delineating a great voyage across the sea. Near broken we became, but then, at last, a moonlit vision, that of the Rites, thus they shall say of us, the 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours. The downside is connected to our realm via a single artery, the river named for our prestigious sap colleague Luke Sklorian. That river gushes into seeming nothingness. Yet, seeming nothingness turns out, of course, to be the downside. Its existence undermines thousands of years of thought about the composition of our world. The downside's southern edge we call the Sandfords. It is a desecrated wasteland speaking well to this land's lack of hospitality. Here, the strength of many who survive the river journey finally fails. If only we could clamber further north. Where lies the verdant downside prairie? A better place to perish, to be sure. The Ridge of Gold. The serpent titan Gandroth turned to brittle stone not long after his death, and of that you may be certain. It remains as a flat, elevated basin that stands as closer to the heavens. Upon the fallen Gandroth's hide, the stars themselves alight, and ye shall know you stand on sacred ground. We set the metal sigils, lit the candle flames, and we emblazoned on the rock-like forms the sigil of our passage to and from this land. And then the stars themselves, they did reply to us. They sang, shining bright, their voices loud and clear. We understood their cadence, and we knew how often to return. The Greater Titans. The stars shine strange beneath the sea. This one dared rise from the water so that he could see them plain, the burning essences of those who came before. Our lives are but a quest to join the stars. This one longed to be the brightest, but on the downside this one met those whose own stars should doubtless burn at least as hot. Together we achieved great deeds. You may not have seen some evidence of it, the remains of the Greater Titans, which once darkened this dark land, but in our kinship was the strength to conquer them. It is this one's humble charge to chronicle those deeds, and may the Titan stars never stain the sky during your time. The Withdrawn. The Withdrawn did spawn forth from the wild witch Melith, in whose vigilant pursuit of the unknown and the unknowable I always felt a certain kinship. Whether the Withdrawn were Melith's kin by blood or merely worshippers, we trusted one another not to ask or care. What mattered was that Melith chose the most audacious minds who stopped at nothing short of the impossible. Though ever distant, the Withdrawn revealed to us such truths about the land which long lay hidden, even to one such as I. The knowledge ever waking into newfound depths of consciousness, they led us all to better know ourselves. Limbless Arisek. This one is, to be honest, he nary expected this high-minded friend, Sklorian, ever to raise arms, and yet 'twas Sklorian alone who toppled the rude titan which befouled the serenity of Wakingwood. Sklorian he brought to bear the mind of his entire family of willful saps, contained within his ancient gnarled staff. Soon the poisoned soil of Limbless Azizek began to dissipate. The root titan cried out a deafening last cry and withered to a speck. Azizek still lives, a husk, a single foul seed, still rotting where once something mighty stood. Sklorian, in his mercy, deigned that the surrounding woods ought to grow bold and strong, by casting off the influence of Azizek, not by forgetting him. Is there more? I know. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Oh, any outside progress will be lost? Okay, there's the save symbol. Okay. Alright. Freedom can wait. Well...